Let's stack two clones together. So that's just the amp tone. So this is the second Klon. And now when we add this one, okay, so you might say, well, what's the big deal? I have all of the knobs, all 6 knobs, set right about the halfway point, 12 o'clock on a clock face. And, you know, I could just turn the knobs on one of them up. But here's the deal, okay? When you're stacking overdrives like this, the first overdrive can actually overdrive the input of the second one, creating a different sound, okay? Then the second one has more effect on the overall tone. So, in other words, if I kind of crank up the treble on this and stuff, the second one, the tone control is really going to have more effect anyway. What this is doing is increasing the treble coming out of the first one, or bass, treble, bass, whatever, the tone coming out of the first one, it goes into the second one, into the first stage, the first gain stage, and it just distorts those frequencies a little bit more. It doesn't really, when it goes through all the circuitry of the second one, it finally spits out the output. A lot of what's coming out of this first one, tone-wise, has sort of been washed over by the second one, okay? But you can you can distort different frequencies by stacking gain pedals like this. Okay, so let's try it. So I'm gonna put the treble, the tone control, all the way down, put the output and the gain at about 1 or 2 o'clock on the first one. Okay, now on the second one, I can adjust the output, the gain, and the tone of that first one and this second one combined. Okay, now that's a much thicker sound than I could get with just this by itself. Okay, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Even if I crank the gain and the output, hear how it's a different tone. With both of them, it's a much thicker, richer, smoother, more compressed tone. Which of course you may or may not want. Okay, so putting the treble, putting everything back about the midpoint, and then this one back on. Yeah, see, it's a much thicker, meatier tone. It's a bit noisier, but it's not terrible. Okay, and if I crank the output of the first one, it'll really overdrive the input of the second one and not really create a whole lot more volume, because again, this is the second pedal, the last pedal in the line, is the one that's really affecting everything. Okay, now if I turn it all the way up, okay, I get more sustain, more compression, not a whole lot more volume. I can crank the gain on the first one too. And it really easily slides into some like harmonic feedback. So I actually like that. Sorry, I messed up. I'm like trying to play like on my left knee and try to kind of stay a little bit in frame and not hit everything. But there we are, stacking Klons.